Hey everyone, welcome into the Leadership Sandbox. Have you ever had that moment where you just wanted to get strictly the facts from someone? Like, just bottom line it, give me the facts, only the facts. That's all that I need. Please give me the facts. Well, in today's episode of the Leadership Sandbox, we're going to be talking about how to bottom line those questions so that you get exactly what you need from the people who like to carry on and on, like the song that never ends. Remember Sherry and Lamb Chop? Yeah. Well, today's episode is not about this is the song that never ends. It's actually about how do we change that behavior on your team so that you get just the facts, ma'am. And that's it. Bottom line it. Welcome into the Leadership Sandbox. I'm Tammy J Bond and excited to have you join me today. We're going to get started in 3, 2, 1. Let's get into the sandbox. Hey, welcome back, guys. I am excited for this episode today. Well, first of all, I want to acknowledge kind of an obvious pink elephant with purple polka dots in the corner of the room. I've been missing a couple of episodes. We've had some team changes, yes. And as we're onboarding and getting everybody up to speed, there's been a little glitch on my side because I have not been able to get into record as consistently and get as many episodes in the hopper as the team needs. So that's on me, fully on me. But I can own it and I can say, all right, I'm going to actually take a week and regroup and we're going to get some things back in order so that I can be as efficient as I know that I want to be, but also more importantly, as the team that supports me actually needs me to be. So I just wanted to put that out there. Thanks for the grace and thanks for always listening. And if you haven't done that yet, done the like, share, comment, right? I would love for you to do that so that 1, you boost our ratings. 2, we bring listeners in that can benefit from what we talk about here in the sandbox. But also 3, it just shows us that we're making a difference. So go ahead and like, share, and follow our podcast wherever you listen. We're kind of everywhere. So I want to talk about just the facts, man. Like, that's it. Just give me the facts. How many by a show of hands would say, yeah, I love those meetings where people just drone on about one topic and one topic only, and they just hit it really hard and they go and they go and they go and they go. How do you get them to stop? And I hear that all the time. I've actually been in those meetings where I'm like, oh, I really just want to push the pause button on this person. Do they have a mute button? Like, wouldn't it be nice? Like, when you're on your phone and you're walking through, or you're in a store and someone's on their phone, I should say, and it's on speakerphone and you're like, could you take it off speakerphone and just put it in your ear or push mute? I don't want to hear that. Sometimes we're in meetings and we have the same thing happen, right? We got people talking and I just want to push the mute button. Pause, take a timeout, take a breath, and give me the bottom line, just the facts. So what happens when people hijack your meeting or hijack your conversation? How do you bring them in to push the pause button and say, time out, stop. We need to reframe this, or I'd like you to bottom line it. Well, I love the SBIE, situation, behavior, impact plus expectation approach. Yes, but sometimes that's not always doable when you're in the middle of that meeting. And what is doable is to actually raise your hand and say, hold on a minute. I'm going to ask for the audible pause because I've lost track of the very important thing, and point to the person that's doing all the talking, right? Joe, that you're wanting to say. I'm missing the point of where you're going. And I don't believe I'm the only one. So what if we push pause and bottom line for me, your request, your intention, your frustration, your concern, and could we please bottom line it and get to the point in 2 or 3 sentences, make them count. Now, I can say that because I like to speak that way. I like to bring that bottom line it. I just need you to just get to the point for me. On a team, however, or in certain meetings, and I've been there, I've been witness where there are meetings where you've got people going on, and I can hear the rolling eyes right now with, well, Tammy, our CEO does that, and I can't just tell him to pause and stop. But you can. And how that looks when it's the CEO who goes on and on and on, like the song that never ends, is to say, hold on, Frank, give me just a quick second. I'm wanting to catch up to what you're saying. Could you please bottom line the point we're discussing for me? Because I think I've missed something in the context, in the story, in the explanation. And that's not disrespectful. And if you feel like that would be, then another approach with Frank is outside of the whole room to pull Frank aside and say, I love the level of detail, Frank, that you bring to our conversations when we're trying to solve problems. And if I can be totally vulnerable with you or be completely real with you in this moment, because I think the word transparent is overused. So don't use that word, friends. I'd like to offer a reframe on something, or I have a question for you, or I have a request. Sometimes in your passion in telling us all of the details, the bottom line of what you're really asking us for, I feel like it gets lost in the room. And I'm wondering if we could start with that bottom line and then maybe less of the context and just make the request as a bottom line. Now you could say that to Frank. You also could say, sometimes, Frank, I'm noticing that the room loses the intention behind, and I know that creates further tension and frustration for you. So I'm wondering, how may I support you? What's something I could do to just be that little kind of person on your shoulder that's saying, hey, bottom line it, get to the bottom line it. What's your request? So that the team who's just there to deliver results on your behalf can actually get from that what they need. Cause I'm concerned. And I know I've heard talk that people get lost in the storyline that gets built, the long dialogue that happens. Now, for some of you, you might be thinking and leaning into this conversation going, yes, I have that. I have a Frank. I have a Joe. How do I handle that as a team member, as a supporting cast member? How do I, how do I, how do I change that behavior? Through dialogue, through questions? Because here's the reality, y'all. Frank and Joe, they don't want to drone on and on. They just don't feel like they're being heard. And the only way they feel like they're making an impact is with more words. Instead of recognizing less words is more powerful with a clear by when expectation setting conversation. Bottom line, the challenge, right? That's what we can ask for. We can actually even reframe it if we've taught the SBIE approach in an organization to say, can we make this an SBIE moment? Can you tell me the situation and the behaviors you're noticing, the impact of that, and now what is your expectation? Help them, because as we're all learning those new behaviors can become trip hazards. And sometimes those new behaviors, when we want the facts only, just the facts, man, that's it. That's all I need. Just tell me what you need from me and I'm going to go do it. We miss the context of the giver on the other side, who's the one that's frustrated going, I really just need this fixed. And the person on the receiving side is saying, I really just want to help. And yet we have a said heard gap in the middle, and we can overtalk one another and not get to just the facts, man. Just give it to me straight, please. Bottom line it for me in 2 or 3 sentences. What's that sound like? And make it a request, a powerful request, so that I can step into action on your behalf. I promise you, I promise you, Sandbox friends, if we do that, when we do that, we transform the way that we have dialogue. We might make people uncomfortable. I witnessed it this week. I had somebody whose voice was quivering on a Zoom call because they were nervous about answering the SBIE question. What's the situation? What's the behavior? What's the impact? Now, what's your expectation? They were so nervous. Their voice was quivering. I get it. And I can sit in the space and hold and be the container to hold that space for people. But if I don't ever give them the opportunity to have that quivering voice to break through, I'm not doing the team, the individual, the project, the client any justice because I'm hiding out in my own comfort zone. So come on, friends, when the facts only, you just want the facts man and you just want him to bottom line it because you got somebody carrying on and you want to claim, right? Claim the moment by pushing pause, take a breath, ask a question so that you disrupt the story that goes on and on and on like the song that never ends. That was a great show back in the day with Sherry and Lamb Chop. Loved it, right? I could sing it for you, but I won't. The point being, be willing to stand in the threshold of discomfort for everyone to push the pause button and ask for just the bottom line, the facts. Get to the point so we can actually get to solution. All right, friends. This has been a great episode, and I am super excited to have you listening into the Leadership Sandbox because I know that leadership is not something that you're born with. It's something that you grow into. And I want to thank you for taking time to grow into that next level of leadership in the sandbox today, going after just the facts. Make it a great day, and God bless you.